Your dog has a perfectly good bed of their own somewhere in the house. And yet, here they are, circling your mattress, settling against your leg, taking up exactly 80% of the space, and leaving you the rest. If you're like most people, you probably have a few theories. Maybe they're cold. Maybe it's just habit. Maybe they're a little needy. And sure, those explanations make sense on the surface. But here's the thing, your dog has options. They've got that bed you bought them. They've got the sunny spot on the floor. They've got the couch. They've probably got a pile of your dirty laundry they could curl up in. If warmth was all they wanted, they'd be fine. So why do they keep choosing you? Here's what's actually happening, and I promise it's way more interesting than you think. It's not about warmth. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you felt truly, completely safe? Not just comfortable safe. Like nothing in the world could get to you because you were exactly where you needed to be. For your dog, sleep is the opposite of safe. Think about it from their perspective. Every instinct they've inherited from thousands of years of being, an animal that could get eaten, every single one of those instincts is screaming at them to find somewhere hidden when they're about to lose consciousness. Somewhere quiet, somewhere protected, somewhere a predator can't find them. And instead, they walk right past every quiet corner in your house and climb into bed with a human who's, let's be honest, probably 15 times their size and makes weird noises in their sleep. That's not about temperature. That's something else entirely. You're their safe person. There's this study that researchers did in Hungary, actually. They borrowed it from child psychologists. You know how little kids get attached to their parents? How they want to be near them, get upset when they leave, and calm down immediately when they come back? Psychologists have a name for that. They call it the attachment bond, and they've been studying it in human babies for decades. So these researchers in Budapest decided to adapt that same test for dogs, and what they found was pretty wild. Dogs form attachments to their owners that are functionally identical to what babies feel for their mothers. Same need for closeness. Same distress when separated. Same relief when reunited. In fact, about 61% of dogs tested were what psychologists call securely attached, which is almost exactly the same percentage you find in human toddlers. So when your dog chooses to sleep beside you, they're not being needy. They're not being clingy. They're doing the most fundamental thing an attached creature can do. They're seeking out their safe person at the moment they feel most vulnerable. You're not just their owner. You're their security blanket. You're the thing that makes the world feel okay. The chemistry between you. Here's where it gets really interesting. In 2015, some researchers in Japan did a study that ended up getting published in Science, which is kind of a big deal. It's one of the most respected scientific journals out there. And here's what they wanted to know. What's actually happening inside our bodies when we interact with our dogs? They measured something called oxytocin. Maybe you've heard of it. It's sometimes called the love hormone or the bonding chemical. It's what floods a mother's brain when she holds her newborn for the first time. It's what makes you feel connected to someone. And what they found was extraordinary. When a dog looks at their owner and the owner looks back, both of their brains get a hit of oxytocin at the same time, across two different species. Think about that for a second. Your dog looks at you, and their body releases a chemical that makes them feel bonded to you. Your body does the same thing. That makes you want to look at them more, which releases more oxytocin, which makes them want to look at you more. It's a loop, a self-reinforcing neurochemical loop that strengthens your bond every single time you make eye contact. They tried the same experiment with wolves that had been raised by humans that were comfortable with people. Nothing. The loop didn't activate. This connection, this chemical feedback system, evolved specifically between dogs and humans over thousands of years of living together. And physical contact? That makes it even stronger. Just 10 minutes of petting your dog produces measurable drops in cortisol. That's your stress hormone in both of you. Now imagine what happens over 8 hours of sleeping pressed together. 15,000 years in the making. Here's a question you've probably never asked yourself. When did this all start? When did dogs and humans first start sleeping next to each other? The answer is, basically from the beginning. Dogs are the only animal that was domesticated before agriculture, before farming. before cities, before writing. About 15,000 years ago, some estimates say even earlier wolves started hanging around human camps. They were probably drawn by food scraps, maybe by the warmth of the fire. The friendliest wolves, the ones least afraid of people, they survived better. They passed on those traits. Generation after generation, they changed. Eventually, they weren't wolves anymore. In Germany, archaeologists found a burial site that's 14,000 years old. 2 humans buried together, and next to them, 2 dogs. But here's the detail that gets me. One of those dogs had survived a severe case of canine distemper, a disease that usually kills within 3 months. That dog had been sick for at least 5 or 6 weeks. Someone had nursed it. Someone had kept it alive through an illness that would have killed it in the wild. These weren't working animals. They weren't tools. They were family. And they've been family for a very, very long time. Geneticists have actually found that domestic dogs carry unique genetic markers, little insertions in their DNA that are associated with extreme friendliness and a desire to seek out human contact. Wolves don't have them. Dogs were literally shaped at a genetic level to want to be near us, to sleep near us, to bond with us. Your dog isn't doing something weird when they climb into your bed. They're doing something that's been selected for across 15 millennia. What happens to you while they sleep next to you? Now, I need to tell you about a study that seems contradictory at first. Researchers at the Mayo Clinic, one of the top medical centers in the world, they decided to actually measure what happens to human sleep when a dog is in the bed. They tracked 40 adults and their dogs over 7 nights using clinical-grade sleep monitors. And the results were pretty clear. Dogs objectively disrupt human sleep. They move, they reposition, they do that thing at 3 a.m. where they stretch and accidentally kick you in the kidney. Objectively, the data showed worse sleep quality. And yet, almost every single person in the study felt more comfortable, more secure, and more rested when their dog was in the room. How does that make sense? Another researcher, this time at Canisius College, surveyed nearly 1,000 women and found something similar. Dogs were rated as less disruptive than human bed partners, more comforting, more consistent. So she did a follow-up study with motion trackers to figure out why. Here's what she found. Owners were waking up briefly every time the dog moved, but they almost never remembered it in the morning. The physical interruptions were real, but the felt experience of safety was stronger than the disruption. And this is where it gets kind of profound, because it turns out that the psychological benefit of sleeping next to a trusted companion, of having a warm, breathing presence that your nervous system recognizes as safe, might actually be more important to restorative sleep than uninterrupted darkness and silence. We spent most of human history sleeping in groups. The isolated, solo bedroom is the exception, not the rule. Maybe your dog isn't ruining your sleep. Maybe they're restoring something more ancient than sleep hygiene. Your nervous systems are connected. There's a 2024 study out of Finland that I find absolutely fascinating. Researchers at the University of Jyväskylä monitored the heart rate variability of 30 dog owner pairs across different situations. Heart rate variability is one of the best measures of how your autonomic nervous system is doing. High variability means you're relaxed and regulated. Low variability means your stress response is activated. And here's what they found. During every condition they measured, dogs and their owners showed correlated heart rate variability patterns. Their nervous systems were in sync. When the owner was calm, the dog was calm. When the owner was stressed, the dog's autonomic state shifted. And the synchronization was strongest during rest. They tested the same thing with dogs and unfamiliar humans. No synchronization at all. This only happens within bonded pairs. So sleeping beside your dog isn't just a psychological comfort, it's a neurological event. 2 separate nervous systems from 2 different species, co-regulating each other through the night. You're literally calming each other down on a physiological level without even knowing it. When your dog suddenly stops, there's one last thing I need to tell you, and it might be the most important part of this whole piece. If your dog has been sleeping beside you for months or years, and one day they just stop, don't brush it off. Dogs are creatures of habit. When a deeply established behavior disappears overnight, there's always a reason. Sometimes it's environmental, a new pet, a new person in the house, a change in your schedule that throws them off. Dogs are exquisitely sensitive to changes in their territory. Something that feels minor to you can feel seismic to them. But sometimes it's physical. Veterinary researchers have found that changes in sleep location are one of the earliest behavioral signs of pain. It shows up before limping, before stiffness, before any obvious physical symptom. A dog who stops jumping onto the bed might not have suddenly decided they prefer the floor. They might be hurting. And in older dogs, disrupted sleep patterns are the hallmark symptom of canine cognitive dysfunction, basically, dog dementia. It affects about 35% of dogs over 8 years old. So, if the nightly ritual changes, pay attention. Your dog doesn't have language. Behavior is the only way they can tell you something's wrong. The next time you wake up at some ungodly hour with 6 inches of mattress and 80 pounds of dog pressed against your legs, I want you to remember what's actually happening. Your dog chose you, not the couch, not the floor, not the warm spot by the radiator. You, because 15,000 years of evolution, a neurochemical loop that no other species shares with us, and an attachment system built to mirror the bond between parent and child, all of it pointed at one thing. Sleeping beside you is the safest place in their world. And honestly, the science suggests it might be doing something for you too.